Hello, everyone, and welcome to another EBTV presentation of high school sports. Tonight, it is wrestling at East Brunswick High School, where the Bears are taking on the Sayreville Bombers. Along with Stu Kohn, I'm Bob Cancro, and we're here to bring you all the action. Stu, tonight the Bears are finally getting a chance to open up their dual meet season. Sayreville's already 4-1.
Well, the 4-1 might be a little deceiving on the matchups. East Brunswick might have a little edge on paper, maybe a little more balance in Sayreville, and hopefully the East Brunswick can come through with a W tonight.
Yeah, the interesting thing tonight, you have two brothers on each team, the Schleifers for East Brunswick and the Porcaros for a very young Porcaro brothers for Sayreville. What do we know about them?
Well, Schleifer alone is worth the price of admission, first off, for East Brunswick. And you have the two big, solid football players at the end of the lineup for Sayreville, which give them some power in the last two weight classes.
The seniors for East Brunswick have been coming through pretty well this year. They have, I don't think there's a senior without a winning record on the lineup. So that's something that I think is a little bit different for East Brunswick. They're getting senior leadership and they're coming through in the clutch.
Well, outside of Schleifer, it's a very balanced team where everybody comes through. No real overpowering wrestler outside of Schleifer. Nice balance throughout the lineup, and everybody can pick and choose their time to step up.
Well, we're going to see how it plays out tonight as we go head-to-head. Sayreville and East Brunswick tonight. We'll be right back with all the action. We are back at East Brunswick High School, and we are going to the opening introductions. That is Powell Sachs, the PA announcer, and we are starting at 132 pounds, and he introduced those teams: Maddox Mason for Sayreville, and Pillai Aditya for East Brunswick, Isaac Blagagy, I believe it is, and Paul Piccarello at 138.
The Zambas. And for East Brunswick, it's
at 145, Corey Knopf for Sayreville, Anthony Tomeo for the Bears, and we're just caught up at 152, Brett Dzamba for the Sayreville, and David Binyatov for East Brunswick.
And for East Brunswick, it's David Binyatov. At 170 for Sayreville, either Tyler.
Well, they just messed me up there, Stu. Did they move people up?
There's multiple wrestlers waiting at some of the weight classes.
All right, because they did not introduce Jonathan Schleifer at 160, and they jumped to, and I didn't hear him introduced.
Tyler Gilligan. And for East Brunswick, it's John Krajowski.
And Sayreville has changed their lineup a little bit. They've gone all over the place.
195, either George Camacho or Mathis Lopez versus East Brunswick, Sam Walker. At 220 for Sayreville, Michael Porcaro. And for East Brunswick, it's Mike Quinton.
Mike Quinton, one of the seniors on this team, leading the way. And we get up to the heavyweight, 285-pound weight class.
At 285 for Sayreville, Anthony Porcaro. And for East Brunswick, it's Kevin Ead.
And we will go back.
Sayreville 106, Frank Roman. And for East Brunswick, it's Mark Schleifer.
That is the younger brother of Jonathan Schleifer. We mentioned him in the opening.
At 113 for Sayreville, Dylan Hulkley. And for East Brunswick, either Tyler Schwartz or Alec Gleason.
East Brunswick has some young wrestlers, too. A couple of freshmen in the lineup. Three of them, at least, right now.
And for East Brunswick, Jason Minikill.
There's another one of those freshmen there, Jason Minikill.
At 126 for Sayreville, Aaron Davis. And for East Brunswick, it's Tyler Gallegos. We'd ask you now to please stand for the national anthem. Thank you.
We will go out for the captains, and our official tonight is Jim White.
Head coach and captain.
And the coaches and the captains go out. Matt Pazinko for the Bears, and for the Bombers, Marcus Ivy. And we're going to throw this out to Jim White. He is mic'd up, our referee, and you'll hear what goes on out there.
Gentlemen, let me re-emphasize the sportsmanship aspect of tonight's contest. You guys concentrate on wrestling, let me officiate the match, and your coaches will coach, okay? You're the visitors. Who's going to call it for me? Which one of you?
I'll call it.
You will give me red or green in the air.
Red.
Red, you got it. What do you want?
Evens.
Evens? Even matches. Good luck.
So what that means is in the even matches, Sayreville will have to send the man on the mat first, and that will play into the strategy a little bit with multiple wrestlers weighed in at some of the weight classes. That'll also determine in those weight classes which wrestler will have choice of position to start the second period.
And we're going to be starting our match at 132 pounds. And that will be Maddox Mason, a sophomore for the Bombers. And who do we have on the...
Let's see who East Brunswick sends out.
I thought we were going to have Mina Gerges, but I'm not sure.
That looks like Tyler Gallegos.
Yep. Okay, so they've changed everything up for us.
Tyler coming off a victory in the East Brunswick Bear Classic about 2 weeks ago.
2 minutes in the first period. Sayreville tries to get a hold on the head. He's got that left arm in and the head locked. And they're going to call a stalemate. And Stu, you had a conversation with college official. We were watching the Rutgers match of the day about breaking something like that. It really wasn't a stalemate, just a matter of restarting them.
Well, neither wrestler can really advance their position, so it's a good call. It was just really chewing up the clock. There was no real action. So we get a fresh start on our feet. You'll see the referee with 2 wristbands, one red, one green, and that's how the points are awarded to our scorer. He'll raise the hand of the wristband with the corresponding points.
Quick snap by Mason.
We could get another stalemate call here if nobody improves their position.
Again, we're under a minute now left in the period, and Mason has gone to that headlock again, and nothing happening. And Mason, it is going to be again, as you said, a stalemate. 46 seconds left in the period. No score. Maddox Mason is sophomore against Tyler Gallegos, and he is a senior for East Brunswick, right? Senior, right? Yes. Just want to make sure I had that. Maddox is 4-4 on the season.
Offense.
Gallegos is also 4-2, both with 4 wins. We've got 23 seconds to go.
Not yet.
Here in the first, if Gallegos can pop around.
He's got to free that inside arm. But he hasn't.
Now the weight's planted by Sayreville. That's why the 2's been awarded.
You got the cake.
With 4 seconds to go, Gallegos has to hold on here.
And he does.
Now it's an odd bout. East Brunswick will have their choice.
Green defers to Sayreville.
Gallegos has 4 options.
Defense.
Bottom, top, neutral, or defer. He chose to defer. The Sayreville wrestler, Mason, is taking the bottom position, so he feels his best opportunity to score points is either to reverse or to escape.
2-0, as you can see across the top of your screen. As we begin the second period, again, another 2-minute period. They go out of bounds.
Big fresh start in the middle. When they go out of bounds, we get a fresh start.
I'm just going to say, Stu, a big difference because we watched the Rutgers match and a college match. There's so much more that goes on outside the line. And here, both wrestlers step out. We're right back in the middle again.
Well, the college mat's also a bigger mat and then a bigger apron, so there's more room outside the circle. In college, as long as either wrestler has any body part in, they'll continue the action. Now, what Gallegos has to watch here is a figure 4, which is an illegal hold. And he's real close to it now. If that foot goes behind the knee, it's a 1-point penalty, a technical violation. So Gallegos has to be careful with that leg.
He's trying to get the boots in. He's got,
if they come up
right now,
feet, they'll probably stop for potentially dangerous.
For just that reason, and that could have been a point.
Hey, you can't shake them off like that. Understand?
I mean, the referee broke it because it was potentially dangerous, because the man on top, Gallegos, could not defend himself if he fell back.
Go ahead.
Well, Sayreville is always, going to be responsible in that situation. Sayreville wrestler is going to be responsible for a safe return, regardless of before or after the whistle. So the Sayreville wrestler kind of just let go of Gallegos, where he was responsible for his safe return. Gallegos riding tight. Got that near ankle hook, trying to work a bar tilt on the near side. I was trying to run the bar over.
He's got the crotch and the bar, and again, they're up high. He dumps him off. That's going to be 1. That's going to be a neutral.
Gallegos got to try to work back up to his feet.
30 seconds left in this period. Again, Mason likes to work that front hold, and they're going to call a stalemate quickly to get them back into the middle and start over. 27 seconds left to go here in the second period at 132 pounds.
We're going to get a blood stop for Gallegos. Each wrestler is entitled to 5 minutes on the clock of blood time that's accumulated throughout the bout. Unlike a regular injury time where the wrestler would have 90 seconds, in this situation he'll have 5 minutes. If I remember from last season, Gallegos is a bleeder, so this might be the first of many to come tonight and maybe throughout the season.
Now that's 5 minutes just for him to stop the bleeding. Any cleanup that has to go on afterwards is outside of that 5 minutes.
Correct. It's not too often a wrestler will ever use that whole 5 minutes.
No. The referee has a stopwatch, and he's going to monitor this.
You see our referee is wearing 572 on his back. I don't know if the camera can get a shot of that, but the first number of the referee's number usually will determine where the referee's from, 5 being from South Jersey, and 72 is somewhat of an alphabetical thing, and you see 72 is a higher number, so that's what you get for being at the end of the alphabet in white.
Well, the cleanup has begun now. I think the stoppage, because Jim White put down the clock, and we're now just waiting for the blood to be cleaned off of Tyler Gallegos' hands. He's going to go out with a packing in his nose.
We're going to get a fresh start. The wrestlers are going to be in the neutral position. That's how it stopped. So that's how we're going to restart with 27 seconds to go here in the second period. Gallegos on top 2-1 in score.
They circle in the middle. And again, Mason very aggressive, snapping down the head. Gallegos holding onto that arm. He's got the elbow and the wrist.
Gallegos is going to have choice position in the third period. So he's not going to do anything stupid here. And a lot of action. Let's see. Good hold. 2-point takedown awarded. Referee felt Mason had control.
It was a good hold by Jim White to wait for that whole thing to play out, because if you look at that in slow motion, they were back and forth, and at one point it looked like Gallegos had the Peterson, and then he rolled a little bit too far through, and then Mason was able to reestablish control and get the takedown at the very end.
Definitely a funky situation there. Tough call. I mean, just something, one of those things. If you take another look at it and slow it down, I think it was the right call.
Gallegos chose his bottom, which is generally an easier place to get points. And this is where they were pretty much at the end of that period with... well,
the difference here is Gallegos would have been in this position on bottom up by 1. Now he finds himself down by 1. So wrestling, as we've said many times in the past on our broadcast, it's a sport of inches and seconds.
It looks as if Mason's arm went across Gallegos' neck, and it was stopped for potentially dangerous. Gallegos lay there for a few seconds, I guess just gathering his thoughts and regrouping. And we get the restart.
So Gallegos down in score, 3-2. He needs to stay busy, stay aggressive, try to work back up to his feet, try to establish hand control. He's got to try to hip into him.
Mason looks very physical. He's strong. He hasn't done an awful lot as far as controlling on time. Just controlling, not really doing a lot to turn him over or break him down very much. That nose packing did come out, and they've got to clean up a little bit.
Okay.
1:27 to go here in the third period of the first match tonight at 132 pounds.
Gallegos set on bottom.
Good.
Mason on top. Mason trying to work a near underhook. There's really nothing on Gallegos' legs. He could get his hips out, get back up to his feet. Tries a Granby roll. He's got the single. He's going to get two
as they go out of bounds.
Now for the reversal, they do not have to go back to the mat. Anytime control changes on the mat or on their feet, the 2 points are awarded.
Shoulder roll or Granby gets the 2 points as Gallegos came up from underneath. And that's going to be a caution on Maddox, a false start.
Relax. Caution's on you, Sayreville.
Wrestler will be awarded 2 cautions. On the third one, it'd be a 1-point violation.
Go ahead.
So two without a penalty.
And again, Gallegos going with the legs around the waist. He's got the boots in. He wants to chop out those arms and stretch out Mason, and that's...
Now the referee's been calling this potentially dangerous. If it happens a continuous amount of times, it could be considered stalling.
Something happened with Gallegos. It looks like he's holding his knee.
Possibly a cramp.
Now we're talking about injury time.
Now the stopwatch is going for injury time. He'll have 90 seconds cumulative. If he stops more than once on the second time out, when you go back to wrestle, the opponent would have choice position.
And Coach Matt Pazinko and trainer Phil Hostler out there are rubbing his right calf, and it looks like that's where the cramp is. And again, you know, when you put the legs in like that and you're just twisting yourself around, it's easy to stretch something out. We've all done that where you just tighten your muscle up too much and it locks. More so when you get older like us, but...
You know, also these guys are a little dehydrated sometimes. They're cutting weight. It adds to the possibility of a cramp. So Gallegos cannot stop again without giving his opponent choice of position.
It is 4-3. Tyler Gallegos ahead. 52 seconds left here in the third period in regulation.
And when you're out there wrestling, that 52 seconds is a long time. Gallegos holding on to that leg.
He's got to move up on that. He's got to come up. He cannot hang on to that leg.
He's got to work up. Look for Gallegos, try to work up the body. Steps over.
He's got the leg with a modified Navy.
He's into a Peterson.
He's got back points.
Back points.
And he got a little sloppy there.
And he lost control and gave up some back points back to Sayreville. So it's going to be 2 back points for green, 2 reversal for Sayreville in red, and then 2 back points for red.
Should be 7-6 Mason with 17 seconds to go.
Gallegos has to get 1 here.
He needs a point, and
he's got it. Sayreville wrestler kind of gave it to him.
I'm not quite sure what that was for, unless he feels he can get the takedown in overtime.
This match is going to come down to 1-minute overtime.
That to me was a very strange.
I'm not sure the
call.
Sayreville wrestler was aware of the score. We're gonna recheck it, make sure both teams have it at 7-7 before the overtime.
7-7?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, I don't. I have 5.
No,
Okay.
it's
So
7-7.
Okay, listen. East Brunswick started on top. Okay?
No.
During the scramble, he gets 2 back points during the Peterson. What was the score before that scramble when they set up again?
I have for that, and then I have the escape.
Before that.
Because I know he got the reverse
I had
near fall.
2, 3.
I know Maddox got.
We're getting it all
first
hashed
round
out
was a
here.
takedown, and then it was escape, and then Maddox got a takedown.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then.
I believe we're at 7-7.
It should be 7-7.
We're getting it hashed out at the table, but I believe Gallegos picked up the 2 back points, then gave up the 2 reversal and 2 back points, and then gained 1 escape, bringing it to 7-7.
It was 3-2 at the end of 2 periods. Gallegos was down in the beginning of the 3rd period. He got a reversal, which made it 4-3. He then got the back points, and you heard a little bit of Jim White talking about the Peterson, and he had 2 points for a near fall there. Then there was the reversal for Maddox plus 2 back points, and then he gave him the escape at the end. I have 7-7.
Well, the action has definitely come in spurts, and I have it at 7-7. And rightfully so. This match should come down to a minute overtime and let the takedown win it.
I'm not quite sure. I'm really not sure what Maddox Mason was thinking when he let him go at the end. He had the match.
Either he was unaware of how much time was left, or thought maybe he was up by 2, not 1. But as we've said before many times as well, is the best defense is to stay offensive.
Absolutely.
When in doubt, keep pushing. Yeah, an ill-advised. Given the neutral, or letting Gallegos go without a fight with 13 seconds to go and force the overtime.
I mean, it was less than, I think it was less than 13 seconds too. I think it was more like about 5 or 6 seconds, and he just kicked them loose. He cut them loose, and
what we do know is both wrestlers getting the opportunity to get a second wind here. Gallegos is also up a weight class, normally at 126. Or even 120. He's at 132 tonight. So giving up a little size advantage to Maddox Mason of Sayreville.
Well, Jim White is looking at the scorebook. Technically, the home team is the official book, correct?
Correct.
But again, you're looking at kids, the students who are doing the scoring, and they're usually pretty good. But again, in a fluster and a flurry of activity, you can lose track of something very easily.
Well, hopefully this isn't setting the cadence for more confusion to follow, and hopefully get out of the way here in the first bout. But there wouldn't be wrestling without confusion.
Oh, no. I mean, as an official, I know, anything can happen. And if you open up the match with a bout where there's some kind of confusion, first of all, you get a little flustered as an official. You get a little thrown back. And you automatically have the girls, or the scorekeepers, they get a little flustered because now they say, oh, my God, what did I do wrong? And they may have done nothing wrong, but suddenly they're on the spot. And now they start wondering, did I get this right?
So it looks like we got a decision. We're going 1 minute, so we're at 7-7. That's been determined. We're going to get 1 minute on our clock. We have it. We're good to go.
And Stu, how do we work overtime now?
A wrestler scores here in this 1 minute, it's all over. If you take the wrestler to his back, you can continue for a fall. Right. Other than that, the referee, once he awards points, within this 1 minute, the match would be over, and it'd be a 3-point decision for the winner as far as team points. Should no one score, we'll flip the disc. We'll go to 2 30-second periods, and each wrestler will have an opportunity to have a choice of 1 to 2 periods.
Well, each wrestler has scored a takedown during the match. Gallegos in the first period, Mason in the second. Mason's been a little more aggressive on his feet with that headlock and that front approach.
Well, the official will probably be a little faster to call stalemates here.
Right.
Trying to force the action in the minute. If no one scores in that minute, we're going to do the 2 30 seconds. So it's not going to let things go too long without points being awarded. Good hold by our official.
He's got a block in there with his right
Maddox
hand.
Needs to come around and cover the hips for the takedown. Good hold by White. Gallegos trying to block him off. Another
very
tough
close
decision for
very
White
close
to make as he pushes Gallegos away. No points are awarded, so we're going to go to 2 30-second periods. We're going to flip the disc. Gallegos wins the choice. He's going to defer his choice to the second overtime. Now, if someone scores here, we continue the action. So regardless, without a fall here, we're going to wrestle at least 2 30-second periods.
Wrestle the whole 30 seconds. Okay?
Gallegos looks like he's still cramping.
30 seconds.
He doesn't want to stop or he'll give up choice of position. Mason quick trying to get out the back door. Gallegos holding on to the underhook, trying to keep Maddox in bay. 18 seconds to go. Maddox has him stacked up.
He was up on top.
Gets a 2-point reversal.
So
Sometimes when you officiate, it's just hard to be everywhere.
It did look like he was stacked, and I guess Jim White was looking behind to see what the control was. And Gallegos will now have choice.
Well,
down
Gallegos,
2 points.
He's got 30 seconds to work with. He's down by 2. So he can either try to get a reversal and tie it up, and or he could try to escape and get a takedown.
Well, Mason is very physical, and on his feet he's been very tough. And in 30 seconds to get 1 and 2 on him would be more of an issue.
Well, Gallegos got 1. Now he's got to get 2. Mason doesn't have to be the aggressor here. He can block it off, try to just stay defensive here.
There have been no stall warnings, so there's no problem there.
He's got 13 seconds to hold off Gallegos. Gallegos trying to work a dump.
He has flattened Gallegos out. We're going to have a win for Maddox Mason.
Maddox Mason, I think, maybe just out-muscled Gallegos to an overtime victory here. Pick up the first team points. Sayreville's on the board first, picking up 3 team points. Hard-fought battle.
Interesting match, Stu.
As we can look at Gallegos visibly in pain, cramping up. You can see him holding his calf.
He looked a little sluggish at the end there, and it might have been that leg.
The leg, giving up a little bit of weight, and we're going to get a look now at Mina Gerges for East Brunswick, taking the mat at 138, and he's going to take on Isaiah.
Isaac Blagagy.
Blagagy. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Isaac Blagagy.
He is a junior, coming in with a 3-4 record for the Sayreville Bombers. And Gerges is a senior with a 5-2 record. As we were saying, the seniors have come through for the Bears. They've done very well.
Well, nice blend of youth and experience on the East Brunswick team. You can't get any more experience than Jonathan Schlafer.
No.
We could talk about him all day. He's basically set every East Brunswick high school wrestling record there is, and he's still at it.
Takedown for Blagagy, got in on the legs quickly. And Gerges going down. In position and on score, 2-0. Gerges got to his feet, but was flailing a little bit. There wasn't a lot of control there or any kind of hand control. Gets the escape. And it is 2-1, Blagagy.
Blagagy in on a second takedown.
Very deep.
Pick up his lead to 4-1 on the benefit of 2 first-period takedowns here.
Right now, the Sayreville Bombers have looked very aggressive in the first 2 matches on their feet.
Go ahead.
And very physical.
Go ahead, Sayreville. Good.
Gerges on his feet, breaks out for 1. We're at 4-2.
And back on his feet, not necessarily a place where Mina wants to be.
Both wrestlers head-to-head. Gerges tried to drag him by, just ran out of real estate. We're going to get a fresh start in the middle. Both wrestlers leaning in with their heads.
Not really good position, not really good stances on their feet, bending over like that.
And Gerges, he's flat-footed out there. Needs to be up on his toes.
I think that's partly why he's getting pushed around quite so much. He's not really able to bounce and recover.
That's going to wrap us up in the first period.
4-2 was the score with Blackjulie from Sayreville in the lead here at 138 pounds.
Sayreville defers his choice.
Defense.
East Brunswick takes the defense, which you see a lot of wrestlers do. They feel it's a better opportunity to score points. I mean, if you have somebody on your wrestling, you know they're a real good rider, you might have to think twice about that.
Bring him down. Bring him down.
I mean, I understand the reason for deferring because you have the choice in the third period when you might need to have the choice. But considering what went on in the first period from Isaac Blackagie's position, I might have taken the standing because he's gotten 2 takedowns.
A little too fast on top.
Caution on Blackagie.
Set. Go ahead, Sayreville.
That's a good point.
Bring down. Bring down. Bring down.
And a sliding escape for
Work center.
Mina Gerges.
Safe. So we're at 4-3 now with the escape.
And so here's my point in what I was saying. He's going in for the technique. He's aggressive again. He could get the takedown, but instead of having a 2-point advantage, he's only going to have a 1-point advantage because he gave him the escape because he was down.
Work center. Work center.
Easy to say from a distance and in retrospect.
No, I agree with your rationale. You know, another takedown would have put him up 6-2. Now another takedown would just have him up 6-3.
Gerges gets in on a leg.
New math, coach. New math.
The Sayreville wrestler, though, seemingly a little more physical.
He's lost a little bit of his luster he came out with in the first period.
Yeah.
Let's see if Mina can pick up on that. Tries another drag, falls a little short in a half shot. They're hand battling out there. They're in a head-to-head tie.
Sayreville seems to like that front attack.
No, that knee was out. We're neutral.
And you heard the call by Jim White. It was close. Under 30 seconds to go here in the second period. Period's going to come to an end without a takedown there. And we will have choice by Isaac Blackagie with a 4-3 lead.
Defense.
So we're at 4-3, 2 minutes to go.
Okay.
Second bout of 14 bouts here today.
Blackagie on bottom. Start the third period. Pops up to his feet. Quick escape.
And this is where he has had his strength on his feet.
Well, he's done the majority of the work and the majority of the scoring, but he's only really have a 2-point lead to show for it.
Yeah. I mean,
he's gotten the takedowns, but he hasn't been able to keep Mina Gerges down.
Now, Gerges has countered pretty well on his feet. He's taken a couple of shots, but he hasn't been able to finish it off.
Correct. That's the key. He hasn't been able to finish his shots. He's initiated a few, but he hasn't followed them through.
Center.
Referee trying to get the wrestlers back to the middle.
I mean, took a quick look up at the scoreboard and see what the time was. It was well over a minute. Got the wizard, but he lost that, and the takedown by Sayreville. And then an escape.
Well, Blackagie appears to be much more comfortable on his feet than the mat. You know, he's gaining the takedowns, trading the 2 points for the 1-point neutrals. Gerges is reaching. He's a little telegraphing his shots. He's really got to put one or two combinations together.
And as you said earlier, Stu, he's been flat-footed while he was on his feet. So he's not really ready to attack. I mean, honestly, they both look a little bit tired right now. They're not they look. Blackie took a little bit longer to get back in from that last stoppage. And just as we say that, he takes a pretty aggressive shot. But they are out of bounds with 23 seconds to go here in regulation. A 7-4 lead for Isaac Blackie of Sayreville. Bombers up 3-0 on the team score.
Come on, Sayreville. Come on, Sayreville.
Blackie's going to pick up a 2-point takedown just before the conclusion of the third period. He's going to take a 9-4 victory home, add 3 team points to Sayreville to put them up 6-0 here after 2 bouts. That's going to take our action to 145, and it's going to be Corey Noth on the mat for Sayreville. And let's see who East Brunswick puts out there to counter.
Noth is a freshman with a 3-1 record.
Be red for me, Sayreville.
And you can see right there, one wrestler hobbling in. That would be Tyler. So he did cramp up pretty well over there. He's still.
It looks like Paul Piccarello for East Brunswick.
Yep.
And he's in quickly on a double leg takedown, wasting no time. He's on the board with a quick takedown here.
Piccarello is a junior, 2-2 record on the season. Came out pretty aggressively there, which is not what we've seen as far as the first 2 wrestlers. The aggressiveness has been on the part of Sayreville in the first 2 bouts, but Piccarello going out there. And got a little careless there and gave up the reversal.
Piccarello needs to get his head up. Not trying to work a far side cradle. Out too, a little high over the head though.
Way too high.
Piccarello needs to stay busy out there. Keep moving. Try to secure some hand control. Needs to get his head up.
Noth is trying to lock up a cradle.
Noth is determined to get that cradle, trying to scoop the far leg, cross face, put it together. But Piccarello needs to get up off the mat. Needs to get his head up.
I mean, while he's trying to get that cradle, he's not doing much else, and he's leaving Piccarello pretty much exposed. His legs are out.
He's got nothing on Piccarello's legs, so if Piccarello can free his legs up, should be able to pop up.
And he was on his feet. He had to stand and try to face him at that point, but he's got his arms wrapped up. 24 seconds to go here in the first period rather. Tied at 2 at 145 pounds.
Piccarello needs to get off his base. Try to get a quick one with a couple seconds to go.
And again, he's trying to work that crossface cradle, and it's not going to happen in this time span. It will be Piccarello's choice.
Stay here.
Sayreville wrestler felt pretty good on top. He's going to select top. feels he can ride him out.
Well, Matt Pazinko, between periods there, was not real happy with Paul Piccarello. He's saying that he was reaching for things, and he was, without much success.
Well, Piccarello needs to stay busy out there. You cannot stop. Wrestling is one of those sports you always got to think a move or two ahead. And right now, you know, Noth does not have a lot on Piccarello's legs. Piccarello's got to try to free up his feet, get up to his, get his hips out, pop up.
He's doing one move and stopping. He does one move and there's no follow through. His head is down on the mat. He's got to get up. He's got to maintain his base, as you've said, and get back to his base.
Piccarello trying to step over,
and
he can get his hips up and scoop up that Navy.
He's got to pick up that leg. He's got to pick up the leg, and he's got the reversal.
Nice job by Piccarello. He picks up the reversal with a step over. Now he's got to try to get Noth flat. Try to break him down.
Matt wants to let him go. He got the takedown pretty easily the first time.
And a nice leg attack and a dump. Piccarello's got to finish, got to follow through. Lost the leg, lost control, and gave up 2. From what I've seen, I think Piccarello needs to be back on his feet. He got in pretty good. Just lost that second shot.
I mean, he got in pretty easily. And again, as we've said, Noth does not have a lot of control. He's off his back. He's not putting any real weight on him. His legs are out. He's got to get his head up, face him, step up.
Good job picking up 1.
See, he turned out and he just stopped.
Well, the referee gave 1, but feels never really had it, so
I would
took
agree.
the 1 escape away and the 2-point takedown for Noth. Good call. Sometimes you replay it again in your head as an official, and the second time around you see it a little different. And that's a sign of a good official, willing to make a change.
The idea is to get it right, no matter what the situation is. And if it makes you look bad because you jump too quickly, that's the way it goes. You know, get it right and don't cheat the kids. 5-4, Corey Noth over East Brunswick's Paul Piccarello.
Well, Piccarello had choice. He selected bottom. Down by 1.
Again, he gets the 1. He's better on his feet.
I'm sure on paper both coaches looked at this match as a winnable bout. And these are one of those toss-up bouts. The toss-up bouts are the ones you got to win. Top left, you can see our team score. Sayreville on top 6-0, and on top in our bout score 5-4.
Well, Noth loves that cradle, and he's going to go down with it no matter what happens. And he's got him locked up pretty well, and Piccarello hasn't tipped over yet. There's no count from James White, the referee.
Well, you can't pick up back punch through the body. Now it looks like Noth has got his hips out, and he's picking up some back points and possibly more. He's got Piccarello pretty tight, and he's going to secure a fall and add 16 points. Sayreville's going to jump out to a 12-0 lead here after 3 bouts.
Well, I think you're right. I think both coaches thought they had an opportunity there. I don't think that Matt Pazinko felt there was going to be 6 points given up at that point, especially when Piccarello went out the way he did, got the takedown very quickly, but just failed to finish off a lot of moves. And Corey Noth, the freshman, just kept coming and coming and coming, and finally he got that cradle.
So we're at 152 here, and it's Anthony Tomeo on the mat for East Brunswick. And he's going to take on Brett DeZamba. And let's see if East Brunswick could turn their luck around and get something going here with one of the more experienced wrestlers in the East Brunswick lineup. Tomeo on the mat.
Zamba comes in with a 3-2 record. He's a sophomore for the Bombers. And Tomeo is a junior at 2-2.
Tomeo is an East Brunswick county place winner in last year's county tournament, taking 6th place. He took a 6th place, I believe, in the East Brunswick Bear Invitational over the holiday break. And it's Tomeo trying to spin around and pick up 2, and he does. He's on the board first here at 152. Tomeo covers. He can't lock his hands there.
He's got to move up, and they call it stalemate, which is a good call.
Definitely a lifesaver there for Tomero. You can't stay locked around the legs. You got to work up. If they stayed there any longer, it could have been more for stalling.
Well, I think Zamba just locked up on his head, and there was no opportunity to do anything. So as he pressures the head, tries to free his leg. And
Tomeo's got to work
he's got to come up.
Can't stay there on that leg. He'll get hit for stalling.
He's got to
there.
stand on that. And a stalemate instead called. Still on that one, was it because Tomeo's head was being pressed down, he really couldn't improve the position?
I think maybe, you know, that with the combination of it was the first attempt at it. I think if it happens repeatedly, you know, you might see our official change that to a stall. As Brett breaks away for 1.
And it is 2-1 now. Tomeo in the lead. They are back on their feet. 15 seconds to go here in the period.
Well, Anthony's got 15 seconds to work with. And in wrestling, 15 seconds could be an eternity.
And it's a lot of time to score points.
Wrestlers are tied up.
And the choice will be Sayreville's.
Sayreville defers his choice. He'll have choice in the 3rd period. Tomeo's going to select bottom. Up 2-1 in score. Down in position. Tomeo with a nice job right off the whistle. Trying to score a reversal.
Doesn't have control yet.
If he can get control of the other leg. There it is.
There's his reversal.
He's got his 2. Works for the near wrist. Working on a quick head lever. Tight waist. We haven't seen any stalling come real into play. Both wrestlers have to always maintain an attempt to improve their position. On top, you have to constantly be working out to the side, looking for a fall. On bottom, you need to be looking to better your position, work up to your feet, stay up off the mat. You can't lock up.
Anthony's headgear comes down and is a hazardous situation, so Jim White stops the match.
Trying to untangle him.
Got it. Set. Get on, Brunswick. Set.
Tomeo holding on to that leg.
Green. Still green. Still green.
Can't give up on that leg.
You can hear Jim White saying still green. He has the control. He's just got the 1 leg, but that is enough to maintain his position.
Now referees will call this different. You know, sometimes they'll allow the action to continue, possibly call stalemate. Some referees will view this as a stalling position.
And we got our answer of what Jim White looks at.
Well, if it happens repeatedly, you know, again, that could change.
He did make a comment to Tomeo, so he may have just been saying just that. You know, we've got a situation where you could have been called. Make sure you're working aggressively as the headgear comes loose again. That's preventative officiating on the part of any official, and that's a good thing to do to try to avoid the problem and let the kids know what they're doing and what you expect from them.
Well, as a wrestler, you don't want to leave it in the hands of the official. Take it out of the official's hands. Work aggressively, work to improve your position, and you don't have to worry about the official. You got to beat 2 people out there. And there it is, our first stall warning. Tomeo has to keep him on the mat, keep him in control, keep him down.
He's letting him get up pretty easily at this point. At least he did those first 2 times.
So Tomeo up 4-1 in the score. Trying to work a tight waist head lever. Really needs to get something on the legs, and he's going to let him go. with 25 seconds to go. Now, it's interesting to note, Sayreville's here in their 6th dual meet of the year, and East Brunswick just getting out of the gate with their first match.
Right.
So you do have to give Sayreville a little bit of edge with match experience under their belt this year.
Well, having matches in a tournament is a lot different than a dual meet. I mean, your battle test one-on-one against another school, that's very different from wrestling in a tournament. Tournaments are just unique experiences where you're accumulating points all over the place. This is a head-to-head competition.
Well, there's one bout, no holding back.
Right.
All or nothing. And Zomba's going to select bottom. He's down 4-2. He's got 2 minutes to work with.
Well, from a strategy standpoint, that's a good thing for him. He's been able to get to his feet, as he did again. He hasn't been able to be controlled. Tamaya has been warned for stalling from the top. So we get our neutral. 4-3. Anthony Tamaya over Brett Zomba.
So this is coming down to both guys needing a takedown. Well, Anthony can't let up here. He has to stay aggressive. Can't afford to give up a takedown. Got to try to work inside control. He's got to move forward. He's already been warned for stalling. He can't back up. He can either go forward or circle. Can't back up.
Well, he's trying to move forward, but Zomba has been able to manipulate him pretty well. He is controlling his head.
If you go out on the mat, you're up by 1, you think you can dance around and block for a minute and a half. Sometimes it works against you.
No.
You got to stay offensive.
You lose your advantage. You lose your edge if you're just playing defensive. Well, Coach Pazinko has said he is not shooting, as he told that to Tamaya. He says you've got to make the effort. He's not shooting. Keep pushing on him. Let him back up.
Well, Tamaya can't be satisfied here, holding on that 1-point lead. He needs to stay aggressive.
48 seconds to go here in regulation. 4-3 is the score. Tamaya on top. And they are out. Still neutral.
Anthony has to stay aggressive. He's got that stall warning against him. Can't back up. Needs to force the action.
Well, and I think that's what Matt Pazinko was saying. You've got to keep pushing forward, and he's not shooting. You have to be the aggressor and appear the aggressor more than anything else. "19 seconds to go as they go out of bounds.
Ten seconds.
A shot by Zomba. Counter. In the crotch, sprawl by Tamaya, and they go out with 2 seconds to go. He cannot back up.
So East Brunswick's going to get on the board with a narrow 4-3 victory here at 152. Anthony gives the Bears 3 points.
It wasn't pretty.
No, we'll take it though, right?
Oh, yeah. You don't throw them back because they're too small.
And it's Nick Taliford taking the mat for Sayreville, one of the more experienced wrestlers in the Sayreville lineup.
He is a senior coming in at 4-3.
And then East Brunswick's going to counter with David Binatos. Taliford has a nice dump barrel roll.
Benyatu, a senior. His 6-2 record. As far as I know, I can recall, Stu, this is his first varsity season, right?
I haven't seen him wrestle before, but
Right.
he's in quickly on the takedown, and he's got Talifer in trouble. A wrestler I can't tell you a lot about on East Brunswick's lineup.
No.
But so far, I like what I see.
Absolutely.
Talifer's no slouch. He's been around the mats.
Talifer's tried that shoulder roll, countered, and was followed very, very well by David Benyatu. I'll tell you, had him on his back, that 6 would have been very big for the Bears.
2 back points are missing from our scoreboard. We're going to get that adjusted. As we see 4-2 on the scoreboard on our top of our TV screen, but it should be 4-0. There we go. And if he doesn't bring him to the mat, he'll be warned for stalling. You have a few seconds to bring your opponent back down to the mat from the neutral position.
Is it 5 seconds or is it just judgmental?
It's judgmental as long as you're making an attempt.
Okay.
But I think 5 seconds or so without an attempt, you'll usually see the officials call stalling. Now, the match isn't stopped in that position. The action continues. Unlike most stall positions where the whistle's blown, the action will continue in that position.
As they went out of bounds, Benyatu was not really in a good position. He didn't follow as well as he had previously. He allowed Talifer to get that roll in, and he got caught a little bit out of position. Unfortunately, they were on the edge, and we get a restart with 30 seconds to go here in the period. He goes to the opposite side, which always throws wrestlers off a little bit. And Benyatu muscling Talifer down.
Well, good preventive officiating by Jim White. You hear him saying, bring him down, bring him down. Try to avoid a situation if you can by vocalizing yourself through. And it's Talifer with a reversal. And going to end the first period at 4-2.
And really a reversal just for being a little careless and sloppy at the end.
Well, Russ, you never want to give up points at the end of the period. You do all that work, you ride for the whole period, and you have nothing to show for it when you give up an escape or a takedown or a reversal at the end of the period.
He almost came out again because Talifer was not as locked in as he could have been or should have been. Talifer takes the bottom position as Benyatu defers. He's a bit high from my perspective.
Bring him down. Bring him down. Bring him down.
Talifer has been able to keep him down on the mat. Talifer's been working back up to the feet. I'm sorry, Benyatu hasn't.
David hasn't
been able to keep him down on the mat.
He hasn't been riding heavy. He's letting him come up. His butt's coming up in the air. He's able to get to his feet. He's got to ride a little heavier and keep Talifer down.
Go ahead.
It almost looked like he was going to, he was going to let him go. (4-3) our score. Talifer takes a shot and countered by Benyatu takes a shot, countered by Talifer, and they go out of bounds in front of the stands.
Benyatu's looking for a takedown here. We're going to be neutral. Up 4-3. We're at 160.
Fifth bout of the night.
Let's go. Offense.
Sayreville winning 2 by decision and a fall, and then the Bears picking up their first win at 152. Right there, pressure the head and spin.
It's the second time he scored or is going to score, is an attempt to score with that same move. doing a good job using the mat, using the whole mat. Oh, Talifer doing a nice job of avoiding the takedown.
He was in.
Yachts did all the work, just couldn't finish. I do believe, from what I've seen, though, David's best positioning is here on the neutral position.
Right.
Where his strength lies has been on the feet so far, thus far through this bout.
He's got the single.
He's been able to get in position for a takedown. Just needs to finish.
Post it and spin.
Nice job. Turns a single into a double.
Gets a takedown with 2 seconds to go.
If he can headhunt here.
And Marcus Ivey was going to question that. I think he felt that Talifer had a leg hooked still.
Stay in the middle. Just stay there.
Let's see if we can go to Jim White on the mic. Pick this up.
Oh, I waited until your kid started leaning towards his.
To be honest, I don't care. I just want to say I feel my guys are outworking a lot. If we just keep my eyes on.
You might as well stay here for another minute because you're getting a warning for coming over. A warning for Sayreville for misconduct on the coach.
That's a mandatory call. A coach does not have the opportunity to question a judgment. He can only ask for an interpretation of a rule. So it's not Jim White trying to be the enforcer out there. He's just trying to follow the rule book.
Now, when did that go into effect, Stu? Because that's not. I haven't seen.
Don't quiz me here, but
Okay.
it's been around a couple of years.
Okay, because we haven't seen that very much. I don't recall seeing that very much.
Well, the attempt has been made, or the rationale behind the rule is trying to keep it a gentleman's sport.
Right.
High school, they feel, has no place for questioning officials. So, coach is in a tough spot. He's got to be crafty with his wording.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to get your point across by reading between the lines or talking between the lines.
Talking between the lines, yes. So
but you can't question the judgment of an official. You can only get an interpretation of a rule.
If Coach Ivey came over and said, "What did you see on that?" Would that be okay?
I think the wording would probably have to be something to that effect to avoid I had something different.
Okay. Talifer gets the boots in. He's riding with those legs in, putting pressure on Binyatu's head.
Maybe you want to say, can you explain to me why that was a takedown?
Okay.
Talifer on top, riding parallel.
And Jim White, if you may have heard that, said you can't just do there and ride him. As you were saying, Stu, he was parallel, not doing anything with it.
Neutral.
Talifer's going to let him go. Give him one, trying to secure a takedown. I'm not so sure I like the strategy. He's been taken down twice.
He's down 4. He just extended the lead into an area where he has not been as successful.
On the other side of the coin, he needs the big move, needs to score some points.
That was a little careless by David Binyatu. He was fixing his headgear, didn't back away quite far enough. He's got to push the head down and spin. If he spins behind, he's got a takedown right there. As you said, Talifer going for the big move. Didn't get it, gives up the takedown. He was going for the head and arm.
And this is one of those bouts where, on paper, Sayreville was probably looking to pick up a win.
Yep.
Talifer, one of the more experienced wrestlers. And, he ran into David Yatos. Can we get that right?
Binyatu, I think.
But we're going to have to find out more about him because he's certainly been a strong point in the lineup tonight.
But I'm questioning here at the very end. He had about 17 seconds when he got that takedown. He had a 6-point lead. If he could have turned him over, that's an 8-point decision.
Right.
That's a major.
And he threw his headgear. He just might have just cost the team a point there. Let's see what the call is. It looks like the referee did catch it.
Yeah.
You cannot throw your headgear. It's going to be a 1-point team deduction.
He just lost to a team point
for throwing that headgear. You saw him do it. No, you saw him do it. I got to call it.
It did look like the headgear was thrown out of frustration.
Right.
And you cannot do that. As harmless as it might seem, it is the correct call.
It's a sportsmanship issue.
You know, sometimes as officials, it isn't our position to read into it. It's what we see is what it is.
Now, there are a lot of times where you make a call and, you know, it seems like a little ticky-tack call.
You know, if we get a look at the Sayreville bench right now, I don't know if we get our camera over there and you get a look at Talifer, you know, he's got his singlet down. That would be another team point deduction if our official picks that up.
John Schleifer moved up to 170 pounds, and he is out there in place of Sam Kim.
And we better talk fast because Schleifer's match don't always go that long.
I know. 11-6 with the deduction of the point for Sayreville. The Bomber is on top by 5. And a quick takedown by Schleifer.
Maybe we can get our camera now to catch that Sayreville bench, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Talifer with the singlet straps down. That you cannot sit on your team bench with your singlet, singlet down like that.
And we have blood time now for, I'm not even sure who we have out there right now.
Here it is. Get a look at Talifer. That singlet needs to be up. Well, I'm off duty. I'm here in the safe zone with you.
Yeah,
much easier to call the match from
absolutely
from behind the microphone.
You know, I'm still doing football, and I watch those games on Saturday and Sundays, and I do my critiques from the stand.
So let's get a quick Jonathan Schleifer commercial in here. There's not enough time to talk about his accomplishments.
No. He is a three-time place winner, state place winner.
He's an all-time win record in East Brunswick.
Right.
He still has another season to go.
No, he's a senior, isn't he?
This whole season he has
this
to go.
season, yes,
He's
this
already
season,
set the
this
record. He is a state finalist. He is in on a cradle, and he is about to get a fall here for East Brunswick. He's got that tight, and in 33 seconds, put it on the board, put it in the books. That's a fall, Jonathan Schleifer. And he's going to come across the mat, give Coach Marcus Ivey a handshake as a true gentleman. And East Brunswick is now in the lead, virtue of the penalty point, 12-11.
You know, Stu, when you talked about John going over and shaking the hands of the coaches, as a coach, sometimes, you know, I want to shake those guys' hands too, because you don't get a chance to have contact with guys who are that good all the time. Maybe if you're doing your Hunterdon Central, or you're one of those South Jersey schools, or you're South Plainfield, where you've got state champion after state champion, but it's a pleasure watching other guys wrestle and have a competition against them. John Krajewski is out there for the Bears, a senior.
You know, both guys coming out, you know, on fire here. The hands are flying.
Krajewski 5-1 on the season, and I have no idea who's wrestling for the Bombers. We're not sure who this is.
I believe this is George Camacho.
Or Matthew
Matthias Lopes. I believe it's Camacho.
Okay.
Let's go.
Both wrestlers head-to-head tie. Camacho working an underhook. Krajewski with a second place finish in the Bear Invitational. He's in on a dump takedown. And he's going to pick up, about to pick up two. I don't want premature. Camacho holding on, trying to avoid giving up two.
Well, this is Tyler Lewis still. I just checked with the scorers, and it was John Zukowski who was pinned by John Schleifer at 170.
The sacrificial lamb of the evening.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we talk about records, and Jonathan Schleifer has them all.
Krajewski with a 4-0 lead here at 182 pounds.
Yeah, there is some strength in the Sayreville lineup coming up at 220 and 285. We should have a good match with Michael Quinton taking on Michael Porcaro up ahead at 220.
Neutral. Sayreville takes neutral. Let's go. Let's go. Ready?
Tyler Lewis, a sophomore, 2-4 record against the senior Krajewski for the Bears. Now this is a
Krajewski up 6-0. It's a good opportunity. East Brunswick pick up some bonus points.
yeah, this is a match I really believe Matt Pazinko feels he can get as a win, and the bonus points would be a big plus. He's got the cradle, rock back. He's got to get that knee in the side, pop that shoulder down a little bit. Jim White in there looking.
Well, he's got a lot of time to work with, and there it is.
246 on the fall.
Well, Sayreville's got a young lineup. Not a lot of seniors, dominated by freshmen, sophomores in that lineup. So look for Sayreville to be around in the thick of things,
right.
Next couple years to come.
Stu, you mentioned the bonus points and the need for bonus points. One of the things that has marked the Bears this year, although this is their first dual meet in the tournaments, 65% of their bouts, I'm doing the math now, 65% of the bouts have been matches that were won with bonus points, either pins, falls, tech falls, or majors. So they have been much more good. That's not something that the Bears have been in the last few years.
And they've been better at giving up the pins thus far this year. They've only gone to the back, I believe, 12 times in all those bouts you talked about.
So of the 66 wins they had coming in tonight, 65% of those, I think it was 30 some odd, 40 something like that, have been bonus point matches, whether pins, falls, or
the adage has always been, win big, lose small.
Absolutely. And you go back to the old days with when Cedar Ridge was here in the county before they combined the two schools in Old Bridge, and you had Jerry Bandola, who was one of the deans of wrestling in the county, and you could do anything to them, but you weren't going to pin them. Cedar Ridge kids just did not go to their backs.
Back in the day, you didn't want to get pinned. If you did get pinned, you didn't want to be at practice the next day.
No. Not that there's an acceptance of it, but it just it's a
can't just
different.
put it in words, right?
No, you can't. No. I'm not even sure we've mentioned who's wrestling. Sam Walker is the wrestler for the Bears.
Walker in a head-to-head tie. We're at zeros here. We're locked at zeros. Halfway through the first period.
Sam is a junior. He has a 2-3 record. And in great socks for baseball.
Yeah.
Ready? Work center. Work center. Stay center. Stay center. Stay center. Stay center, Red. Stay center, Red. Circle in.
This is George Camacho for the Bombers. He is a senior.
This is the real George Camacho.
The real George Camacho. 2-3 record on the season. Well, we go through the first period, no score. And Camacho takes the bottom.
Go ahead, East Brunswick.
Hit.
And they go out of bounds.
Go ahead.
Looks like Walker's going to let him go, I think. I saw instruction come in from Coach Pazinko.
It may have been that, based on what we're seeing now, it may have been that let him go if you get in trouble.
Right.
In 1, not 2, but way too high. And they go out of bounds, still in control with Sam Walker.
Still down. We're neutral. We're neutral.
I take that back. He did want him to cut him.
Yeah, I think maybe
I don't think
Walker
Sam
was
realized what it was.
Exactly.
And the way it was aggressive like that, I said, okay, maybe we missed another signal.
Get in. Circle in.
And on the edge,
Yeah, you got to do it in the middle.
not going to get too many points there. At the next level, as they say, but
Work the middle.
not here.
Stay center.
40 seconds gone here in the second period at 195 pounds. The Bears with a 7-point lead, 18-11 on the scoreboard.
Circle in, Green. Circle in. Circle in. Circle, circle.
Well, you had said it earlier, Stu, that there were matches with little flurries of activity. The same thing here. There are little flurries, but not a lot happening as far as scoring or real moves going on. They're trying to set something up, but not too successful at it. Trying to get wrist control.
Circle. Come on. Stay in the middle.
So Walker's going to have choice in the third period as we're going to end the second period. It looks like 1-0. A couple seconds winding down.
And that is the end of the period. Sam Walker will have choice, and he's taking bottom if he listens to Matt Pazinko.
Kind of had a feeling he would.
Oh, yeah.
Set Green. Third series. Go ahead, Sayreville. Hit.
Walker quick to explode to his feet. Up on his feet in a neutral in about 2 seconds. Ties the score at 1. So this is going to come down. Who wants that takedown more? Walker's been close. He just hasn't been able to do it in the middle.
Get in. Get in.
Well, there's a problem. He got in on it easily, but he was on the edge.
Well, I think he has to avoid tying up and just try to shoot in on the legs in the middle of the mat. I think he's strong enough to get in there deep. He's just got to do it in the middle.
Agreed. Tap and go, tap and go.
Circle in, Green. Circle back in. Circle back in, Red.
Nice double attack.
But again, he's out of bounds, or very close to it. This is an important match for both clubs. If East Brunswick can extend the lead a little bit more, because they're going to be coming up with a couple of big ones against some big ones next couple of bouts. 220 you mentioned before, the Picaros, and a 285. Michael Picaro is only a freshman, but he's a 7-1 freshman against Mike Quinton, one of the Bears' more experienced and better wrestlers.
You know, Walker's doing all the work. He just has no points to show for it.
and 40 seconds to go. He's back into the center where he should be.
And if he doesn't want to go to overtime, now's the time to score.
Yeah.
Come on, Sayreville.
We're at 18-11 in our team score.
Right there, you got to try to pop him and shoot.
Down to 22 seconds. At the rate we're going, we're going to run out of videotape.
Well, thank you.
Walker's in deep again.
He didn't drop in.
Got to finish. Got to finish through.
And as slow as they're both getting up, I don't think either of these guys want to keep going if they don't have to. But they're going to have another minute at least if they don't score. Somebody doesn't score in the next 10 seconds. Two, one, and that's the period. And we are going to go into overtime, tied at 1 at 195 pounds. Sam Walker for the Bears, George Camacho for the Bombers.
This is our second overtime of the night.
1 more minute of neutral. What? You want injury time? Give me injury time.
Looks like he took something out of Tyler Gallegos' book here earlier. It looks like another calf cramp.
I mean, cramps can be a sign of dehydration, or you just might have twisted something. And you see the entire brain trust. Chris Yanazzo, Steve Roy, Matt Pazinko, and then Phil Hostler. We are in the first overtime period, 1 minute. Sudden victory.
Both wrestlers looking for a takedown. Well, Walker needs to be aggressive. You know, if we go through the trade, the ceremonial nobody score, the each get their escape in 30 seconds,
right.
The Sayreville wrestler would have his choice and the ultimate tiebreaker because he scored first. So it's really Walker that needs to initiate the action. Not that I have a vision that I could see the next 4 minutes ahead, but
Walker coming back in with a little bit of a stiff leg. 24 seconds on the clock here in the first overtime.
Well, he needs to forget about the leg and concentrate on a takedown right here. Well, he gets to stay inside control.
Yeah, gets the takedown. You don't have to worry about injury or walking on a gimpy leg.
Well, the best way to get off the mat right here would be with a takedown.
14 seconds to go. And we're going to go to the
30-second overtimes, 2 30-second periods. Sayreville has choice. He's going to defer.
First.
I think Walker's going to take bottom here.
Spread the first degree. Defense.
Just had that feeling. Look for Walker to pop up. Get one.
East Brunswick had a wrestler a few years ago, Dennis Bruno, who went into overtime more times than we can imagine.
Do I remember?
There were times we said,
grass grow.
Oh yeah, there were times we said, why don't we just flip the coin now and go right to the overtime? Because you knew there wasn't going to be any scoring in the 3 periods.
30 seconds.
Now Walker might want to spend a few seconds here trying to get a reversal. You know, he got out quick. He knows he could probably get out.
Yeah.
Might want to try to pick up 2 and then go for an escape if all else fails. But looks like he's going right for the escape.
Well, it looked like from the back that Camacho actually put a half in as they were coming up.
Ran out of room.
20 seconds.
Walker can't stay there. Doesn't have the time to be able to waste.
10 seconds. Camacho just riding heavy on him, keeping him broken down.
Now Walker's going to have to hold him down. Camacho takes bottom. Now basically, if he gets out, he's going to get a 1-point advantage and just have to stay aggressive on his feet. Walker keeping him down so far. Wants to stay near the edge, so if he gets in trouble, he can take him out.
And he locked hands. That could be it right there. Well, this is going to go for naught anyhow.
Now Walker's in a situation where he has to either let him go and take him down or try to reverse him. He's gonna give him 1. So he's down by 2. Now he needs a takedown. He's got 13 seconds to get a takedown. He's got to come at him. He's got to come at him hard and aggressive. Now Camacho's just going to block and stay on the defense. Going to steal a win here.
Come on back.
Yeah, I guess steal is the right word. So I mean, there was. I'll give Sam Walker credit. He was gimpy and he stuck it out.
He did the majority of the work.
Absolutely.
He just got no points to show for it. He didn't follow through on his shots.
And as a result, he walks away with an overtime loss. A win by George Camacho. We come up to 220 pounds. Mike Porcaro for the Bombers, a 7-1 freshman against Mike Quinton for the Bears at 4-1, a senior. And if senior leadership was going to come through, this is a good time for it right now with Quinton. He gets in and gets the takedown.
Well, Porcaro, you don't see big, strong freshmen at 220 too often. He's pretty put together.
Yeah,
for
he's
a
solid.
freshman.
He is a solid kid.
A successful football season for the Bombers. Well, he probably hasn't ran into the legs of a Michael Quinton yet.
Mike, a third-place finisher last year in the GMCs.
Trying to work a tilt. He's going to pick up some, possibly, well, almost picked up some back points there.
Okay, don't move. Go ahead. Good.
Got that Navy in. Looking for the points.
Quinton taking him to his back. He's picking up some back points.
He's got a lot of time. He's got to arch in there a little bit. It's a little bit high.
Yeah, I think this is just a case of too much experience on the part of Quinton.
Good control in there as he changes position, changes the
he's got him
combination.
Tight. He's got him tight and a lot of time to work with.
Got to put a little more weight. There, he got it. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Mike Quinton with the fall.
Well, we're going to see more of Michael Picaro in the years to come. Only
I would think so. That extends the Bears' lead to 10 points, and we have the other Picaro brother at 8-1, a sophomore, only a sophomore. Anthony,
a Neptune tournament champion earlier in the season.
Kevin Ide coming out for the Bears, a junior at 4-2 on the season.
Just back off. Come on. Stay center. Circle.
Both wrestlers just pushing, trying to find a little opening. You know, we got some pushing and shoving, but no real action.
Yeah, I know, getting twisted a little bit there, a little bad angle. Can you say a little more square to his opponent as they go out? 37 seconds here in the first period.
Let's go. Offense.
I think Ide needs to get a new headgear because he is constantly fixing that. And that's got to be distracting. He's going to get called for a stall there. He is backing up a lot. Picaro taking it to him. No score after one, and Picaro will have choice.
Red's choice. Red's choice. Red defer. Green team's defense.
And Kevin Ide goes to the bottom as the defer was called by Anthony Picaro. No score here at 285. It is the 10th bout of the night.
Same way. Still top.
He's got the leg covered, trying to chop in the arm. Ide trying to get up to off his base.
Ide needs to work up, needs to establish some hand control. Needs to get his head up off the mat. Ide's got nothing on his legs.
No. He's coming out to the front, trying to crank that arm over. Picaro was a 7th place finisher as a freshman at the GMC tournament last year.
Come on, East Brunswick. Come on. Both end work.
Ide has already been warned for stalling, and Jim White has been talking to him that he's got to get moving and come up off his belly, get up to his base. 30 seconds to go here in the second period.
Come on, use it on top.
And he is also talking to Porcaro to
Porcaro
do
does
something.
have to come out to the side.
Yeah.
He can't ride parallel.
And a stalemate is called. Nobody doing very much there. Now, Porcaro will have choice, and he takes bottom, as we probably could have predicted.
Hold up. All right, third two. You set? Get on, Green.
Goes to the right side. We'll change up.
Lean down. Lean down. Lean down.
He's been warned for stalling already. Can't just ride him on top. He doesn't bring him down. We're going to see another stall call.
Got a trip right there. Ooh.
Same way. Same way.
And a good thing they ran out of real estate.
Still down.
Assistant coach Steve Roy just made that point to
Go ahead. Get on.
Kevin Ide about not riding it. He can't stall. He's already been warned.
Green.
And there's a caution. That is different from a warning for stalling. That's just a false start.
Well, with 4 minutes and 30 seconds wrestle, we have no points on the board into this reversal coming right here.
He's got the head and arm.
So we go from 0-0 to 2-point reversal, and East Brunswick's in trouble. Looks like he's having some trouble breathing. He's going to give up 2 back points here at least. No, it's a potentially dangerous call. 2 points are imminent, so they're awarded.
Now this is recovery time, correct? Or no,
this
it's injury. This is injury because it
time,
was
yeah.
not an illegal hold. Anthony Porcaro had a head and arm, and that can be pretty locked up. It can get locked up pretty tight. The arm can come across the neck.
Yeah, from our vantage point, I really couldn't tell.
No.
But obviously, Kevin was in a position where he was, having trouble catching his breath.
And for an official, there really isn't much judgment there. Unless you can obviously see that it's not happening. If he says he's not being able to breathe, he can't.
Well, it's hard to question,
Right.
the judgment of a wrestler.
I think Marcus Ivey just questioning where the points were and what the points were.
Well, if
at that point.
any back points were awarded, it'd be an extra back point, but I didn't see our official waive any back points. So it would just be the 2 that were imminent. If he had already been awarded a stroke of the hand, or so to speak, already in a pinning situation, then an extra point would be awarded.
It is 4-0 with about a minute to go here in the third period. Anthony Porcaro on top on the score and in position. Breaks Kevin Ide down to the mat. Ide coming up to his feet, gets the escape. With 30 seconds to go here in the third. 4-1 lead for
Well, the injury time might have saved a couple of team points there.
Stay center. Stay center.
Well, Ide's done just enough to avoid the stall call thus far. Been bordering the fine line of
his first move there was backing up, and granted, you know, Porcaro was pushing, but no call there. It is a 4-1 final. Anthony Porcaro from Sayreville in the win.
Not as close to a bout as the score indicates.
No. Oh, we go to 106, back down to the little guys again. 24-17 is the team score as we come up with Mark Schleifer, the younger brother of Jonathan. He is a freshman with a 5-1 record against Frank Roman, a sophomore for the Bombers. Roman with a 5-2 record, so it looks like on paper at least even up. And we'll see how much John has taught his younger brother. And a takedown for Schleifer. It's so strange. We went from like over 400 pounds about a minute ago.
I was thinking the same thing.
To like barely 200 pounds there between these two guys.
Certainly an adjustment for us, but certainly more of an adjustment for the official. You know, you go through two big heavyweights to watching two little guys fly around the mat.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mark Schleifer, the aggressor here so far, got the takedown very quickly as we approach the 1 minute mark here in the period. And he is working for the tilt. He gets 1 count. No points, though.
Got 2 1 counts. Got to get 2 in a row.
Down, Sayreville.
Sometimes, you know, I look in the crowd, I see people complaining, and I don't know what they're complaining about. I mean it's pretty cut and smooth.
It was not a. Well, I mean, if they were complaining there, it might have been that they called him out. I think Schleifer was still in bounds, but they were heading out, so maybe it's just as well you break it right there and give them a restart.
I don't know, maybe when they come in, we should start handing out whistles and patches, you know?
Oh, I think so. I think you should, you know, but if you're going to do that, I think we have to hand out a rules test as well and see how they do on that.
Yeah. It's funny how the fans always know better.
Oh, absolutely, you know.
A lot of officials in the stands.
As they get a stalemate with 19 seconds. You know, we have a thing in football. Sometimes you get a short punt, it's shanked out of bounds. And the joke is that if you really don't know where it is, the side judge of the field they walk up with their hand up in the air until they hear the boos. Then they take 2 more steps and they chop it, and that's where they go. You know, because you figure everybody in the stand has the right spot.
I've never heard that, but that makes sense.
Yeah, just keep walking until you hear a boo, and that's
Can't imagine you would do it any other way than that.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty close. 5 seconds to go here. Mark Schleifer in control. He has only a 2-0 lead, but has been very much in control of the match over Sayreville's Frank Roman.
Well, our team score far from uncontested. We're at 24-17 in favor of East Brunswick, but how quickly things can change in wrestling. We've seen it before. You know, it's a winner-take-all sport.
Well, there are 4 more bouts, including this one. So this is certainly not decided.
So there's a potential of 24 more points still out there.
I mean, if Sayreville were to win all the remaining matches by decision, they win the match. So it's not, you know, there's a few more wins that East Brunswick needs.
East Brunswick's young here in the next couple of weight classes.
Yes.
We have a freshman on the mat now, and Mark Schleifer. We have either Tyler Schwartz, a sophomore, or Alec Leeson, freshman up next, and Jason Minicle, another freshman. So got some youth ahead in East Brunswick.
Well, Minicle and Gleason are they were very good wrestlers last year's 8th graders on the 8th grade team. They were established coming in. They had a lot of experience. Quick shot by Schleifer gets in on a single. And you can see the wheels turning. What do I have to do next? He's going to try to pop that leg over, get his head out.
There it is.
Nicely done.
Textbook done by Mark Schleifer. Right into a near side cradle. See if he can get that tight. He's hip to hip.
Well, as the 8th grade coach last year, I want to know where Mark was when I was I don't know where he was last year. Would have been nice to have him on a team. They're going to call the stalemate. Nothing happening there. 4-0 is the score. 33 seconds to go in the second period. Mark Schleifer on top at 106 pounds. Lowest weight class as we went from 285 down to these little guys.
And there is no minimum weight here if you're wondering at home. It's anything under 106. Years ago there was a minimum in that. Now it's anything under 106. And that'll jump up to 108 in a couple weeks.
You're jumping 2 weights, 2 pounds?
2 pounds.
2 pounds, okay.
You know, it's also a fairly new rule now. On Mondays, they add a pound if you have a Monday match.
Okay. Which the Bears do next week against Perth Amboy here at home. That's a good rule.
I think it was put into play because a lot of schools don't have access to the gym on Sundays.
Right.
And they want to avoid wrestlers cutting excessive weight. So that was a good rule implemented. Of course, if you're a little guy like Mark Schleifer and you might be way under the weight limit, you don't want to give up any more weight than you have to. But for the majority of the wrestlers, it works to their advantage.
Well, you saw Mark Schleifer get the escape as he popped.
Well, he's certainly
back
given
out.
up a size advantage to Frank Roman here at 106. We don't know how much, but there's a visible size difference, at least in height and leverage. But Schleifer is doing okay for himself. He's up 7-0. He's going to give up the 1 in order to try to get 2.
Well, he's had
and
3.
earn a major decision.
Yeah, he's had 3 takedowns already. So the next 2 points, if he gets a takedown, he's got a minute and a half to do that.
So
gives him
strategy
bonus
being
points.
employed.
Got the ankle pick, rather the knee pick, let it go, but was in on it.
And he's got Frank Roman moving backwards. And he makes it look easy as he cuts around, cuts the corner and spins and picks up 2.
And that was with headgear in his eyes as he did that.
Yeah.
1 minute to go here in the third period. 9-1 is the lead for Schleifer. He's got a cross body in there looking, but did it unfortunately on the edge.
If he can avoid giving up any bout points, he'll be in position to pip an extra bonus point for East Brunswick.
Oh, he's going to give another escape because I think he feels in 50 seconds he can get another 2.
And not have to, ride and give up a cheap 1 towards the end. So Schleifer confident on his feet.
Gets in on the ankle to the leg. Got a single on the outside. Roman has a whizzer in.
If he can reach up and headhunt here,
I don't think it's going to
work into
matter.
a cradle.
And there is the takedown. It is now 11-2. 18 seconds to go here. He has a 9-point lead. He can give him the 1 and get the win and get the bonus point as well. 8 seconds to go here. A very strong and dominating performance by Mark Schleifer at 106 pounds, and he will finish up that match 11-2, a 9-point win, 4 points for the Bears. And the Bears extend their lead to 11 points. And we'll see who the Bears will be putting out. Dylan Haltley for the Bombers comes out. He is a junior. Haltley at 7-1, so a stronger performance there.
Tyler Schwartz for East Brunswick.
Schwartz, a junior. And 3-0 on the season. So two juniors facing each other here at 113 pounds.
Okay.
Okay.
Gonna get a fresh start as Tyler was trying to work that Russian tie.
Well, the difference so far, Stu, tonight has been the 3 pins that East Brunswick had compared to the one that the Bombers have picked up, and also that one misconduct, that violation.
Schwartz avoids the takedown on the edge.
So the Bears are continuing their percentage on bonus point wins. They've won. They've had 4 bonus matches out of 6. That's 2/3. That's 66%. They're 65% of the year. So they're about on target.
Let's go. Offense. Offense. Let's go.
Schwartz has to bring him back down in the mat to score. Nice job by Sayreville. No one good mat sense. Jumped out of bounds. Not making it look too obvious. Make it look too obvious, you could get hit for fleeing the mat.
Five seconds to go here in the first. No score, and we look like we're going to end up with that. Dylan Haltley and Tyler Schwartz, no score at the end of 1. And Haltley has choice and chooses defense on the bottom. I was about to say I wasn't quite sure what Schwartz was working with that one leg up. Was able to turn around and maintain control. His mouthpiece came out,
Let him set up.
and the match was stopped.
Go ahead.
Now, if you wear braces, that's a rule. You are required to wear a mouth guard. That's why you see some wrestlers wearing it. Some, of course, aren't required to wear it, but they wear it by choice. But if you have braces, you are required to wear it.
I could not imagine wrestling with a mouthpiece. It just seems very restrictive.
Awkward. Yeah.
And Haltley up for the escape, and a 1-0 lead, and with about a minute to go here in the second period of a 113-pound match. Our 12th match of the night. Schwartz just a little bit short on that takedown. Couldn't finish it off.
Got a little sloppy there at the end.
And lost his mouthpiece again as they go out. And looking ahead to the 120-pound match, so I'm not sure who they're going to put out. They've got both Jason Minikel and Alec Gleason are warming up behind the bench. Hold by Jim White, and he gives it to there at the buzzer. So a 3-0 lead as the second period ends. Dylan Haltley ahead, and Tyler Schwartz will take the bottom position as we go to the third period. A forceful bring down to the mat, not illegal though. No slam there, under control. And they go out. Minute and a half here in the third period. Haltley with a 3-0 lead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Good.
Tyler Schwartz with a 3-0 record. Gonna have that undefeated streak in jeopardy unless you can come up with something big here in the next minute. Down 3-0 here at 1:13.
Well, Haltley has kept him flat pretty much this whole third period so far, and we are under a minute.
Tyler in his second year of varsity competition. The rest of varsity free Brunswick last year as well. Got to put some kind of combination together here.
Yeah. Haltley just riding that 2-1-1 and trying to tilt. Well, had a whole lot of success, and he's got to get off. Schwartz stayed on that head a little bit as he reached back almost too long and gave him the opportunity for the half Nelson, but fortunately was able to fight out of that. Well, 10 seconds to go here in the third, and Dylan Haltley will come up with a 3-0 victory over Tyler Schwartz, closing the gap to an 8-point lead.
Two freshmen waiting in the wings for East Brunswick.
Yep. And we're going to take a short break. We may miss the beginning of the 120-pound match. Okay, we come back at 120 pounds, and we're going to have Alec Gleason for the Bears, a freshman at 5-2 against a freshman, Dylan Alvis, who has no record on the varsity level for Sayreville.
So these next two bouts are critical.
Match far from over with 2 bouts to go.
Now you certainly can tell us more about Alec than anybody, having coached him last year at middle school level.
Well, I was saying earlier on, he came in pretty polished. He was a polished 8th grade wrestler, very technically sound. Good sense of where he was on the mat, and I think you just saw an example there as he was in a little bit of trouble.
Nice job keeping his feet in bounds.
I like to say I taught him that, but I had absolutely no influence whatsoever on his performance.
Come on, I know it's the coaching. Got the takedown, but needs to hold on here to avoid the reversal and let it slip away. So we're tied at 2 and make that 3-2 in favor of Alec.
You know, looking at the
he's got caught to his back. Needs to get tough here. Needs to arch. Bridge out. Try to free his arm, try to belly down, look away.
30 seconds to go here.
It's going to bring our team score to 28-26 with a first period pin by Dylan Alves of Sayreville here at 120.
Keep that headgear in your hand.
Well, it's a winner take all at this point.
A lesson be learned. I mean, we've all been there. It happens. And we're going to see Jason Minicle on the mat. He's only a freshman, but seems like we've been watching him wrestle forever. I think he started wrestling about 2. Maybe a little exaggeration there, but been a long time East Brunswick wrestler. Started in the East Brunswick Recreation Program, and here he is.
Well, it is on his shoulders at a 4-2 record, a freshman against Aaron Davis, a senior at 4-4 for Sayreville.
So we have the freshman versus senior, but Minicle's no freshman with experience. Got a lot of experience just making his freshman debut here.
He has, again, last year as an 8th grader, he came in very polished, a lot of experience, a lot of rec tournament experience.
He's a year-round wrestler, a lot of experience, very seasoned. Never an easy task being a freshman, wrestling a senior.
And they go out.
Does his best to avoid the takedown here.
He does not get flustered very easily. And probably the nor does Alec Gleason, and they both have that very calm demeanor when they're out there. They're very focused. They know what they want to do, but at the same time, they do not get they don't get upset.
Work the center. Work center. Work center.
So it all comes down to this bout, really, in essence. Winner of this bout's going to win our dual meet. And it's a scramble.
Minicle, he had it there. He's got Davis in an uncomfortable position. I think they're...
And it's Minicle with a Peterson. Secures the 2.
And he's counting. I don't think he got any back points on that. Did not have enough. It was a nice recovery there for that Peterson.
He's in control. The referee's pointing to green. And it's a stalemate, so we're going to see what comes up on the points. Any back points are awarded. Doesn't look like any back points are awarded. Marcus Ivey visibly not happy with the call. The Sayreville coach thought his wrestler could have improved and scored. So we're at 2-0 in favor of East Brunswick. I mean, I'm already wrong with my prediction. I didn't think that the dual meet would be this close.
No.
I thought the balance of East Brunswick would, have them up by a few points at this point. But Sayreville's wrestling tough. Can't take anything away from Sayreville. The lineup dominated by freshmen and sophomores.
Right.
They're hanging in there with East Brunswick.
I think Sayreville has been very aggressive. They've been very physical. I think that is a difference. Davis deferred in the second period, and Minico chose the bottom position.
Now, there's been a couple bouts that have been close, and a couple of those close bouts have gone Sayreville's way. Right off the gate, our first bout, Tyler Gallegos could have went either way. Tyler cramped up, it went Sayreville's way. I think these two teams can wrestle another dual meet tomorrow, and at this point we can have a different team
Probably,
score.
absolutely.
Take 4 fingers. Hey, take 4.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Minicle up 3-0. Needs to be smart. Can't afford to give up any big moves. He's got a whizzer in. Needs to keep that whizzer. Try to get it in deep. Trying to work.
Well, see, right there, I think you saw the calmness and the methodical nature of Jason Minicle. I think what you're also seeing is a senior and the physical development of a senior as compared to a freshman. Talent-wise, I think Jason, and I don't know Aaron Davis, but I think talent-wise, Jason probably is a better technician. But physically, right now, you're seeing
well, he's frustrating Aaron Davis.
Yeah.
You know, he definitely is.
You know, a 17-year-old against a 14-year-old. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. So I think he is frustrating Davis. Davis with that bear hug. And a little bit of trouble there. Gets a takedown.
Well, Davis with Minicle in trouble. Minicle hanging tough, and that's going to be the end of our dual meet. Sayreville's going to win it.
At 3:42, that fall.
It's a big win for Sayreville.
Absolutely.
Big win. You know, East Brunswick presently ranked number 3 in the county. And you gotta call it somewhat of an upset. Exciting dual meet. Can't take anything away from anybody. 32-28, our final.
Well, the pins evened up 3-3, but again, it was, if I got this right, 9.
It wasn't the ideal weight class to start with for East Brunswick.
No.
You know, leaving, you know, their vulnerability with freshmen at the end of the lineup.
Right. I mean, they did take, you know, in the middle where you had the Porqueros for Sayreville. We got a pin out of that when the younger Porquero was pinned by Mike Quinton. But you had 3 pins for each team, and even with that deduction of a point, Sayreville was able to sneak through a couple more wins in there, and they were close bouts.
Well, he certainly didn't want to be Nick Tafaro if they had lost by 1 point.
Right. But I think it was a good performance by
Sayreville. Found a way to get it done.
I think that's the thing. They were scrapping. Now they're 5-1 in the season. The Bears are 0-1. But I think the Bears have a lot to build on. I mean, they have a solid senior class. They didn't get as many bonus points they probably could have or should have or wanted to, but they also have some youth in there that with some experience will strengthen themselves up. I think that, again, those last 2 bouts, you're right. They came down to the seniors, rather the freshmen, as the last 2 bouts. It wasn't a good finish. They're good wrestlers, but physically they're not ready for that. Not as ready as they would need to be, and I think Aaron Davis at the end there with his pin over Jason Minicle showed that it was the physicality of the senior outdueling the freshman.
Yeah, we try to tell you new rules where we can, and that is one of the new rules. The weight classes determine where you start before you even weigh in. First thing you do now when the other team arrives is you determine the starting weight class. It's randomly drawn by straws, and probably if East Brunswick could do it all over again, they'd like to have started somewhere else.
I think so. 32-28 is the final, Stu, as we finish up this match. The Bombers go to 5-1. The Bears are 0-1, and they will continue their season and a lot to go in the red division here in the GMC. So for Stu Kohn, I'm Bob Cancro for EBTV. Thanks for watching.